Thank you for giving us 30 minutes of your time to tell you about a tool that we have created to help government vendors, small and mid-sized vendors on their certification journey. The tool is called USGovCert. And USGovCert is a platform that is cost-effective and efficient for small contractors, small to mid-sized contractors who are undergoing the certification journey. But before we talk about that, I want to give you kind of a background as to who I am and how I got to this point. I'm Philip Denny. USGovCert came out of my efforts at certification. I've gotten several certifications over the years. And the tools that we have used to get us here have primarily been Microsoft Office tools, and I know some vendors use Google Docs. But the thing that all these tools have in common is that none of them are really purpose-built for the certification journey. So I want to spend some time here with you, and I will invite Amit Pant, who has guided my company through several certifications to help describe this tool that we have made available to that we're making available to small to mid-sized government contractors. So Amit, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Philip. Good morning, everyone. Nice to really see you all. Well, Philip, I've been a student of processes for the last 27 years, and I've been really fortunate to get opportunity of working in different domains, manufacturing, software development, and I have been an appraiser, auditor, as well as consultant to small and large organizations across multiple continents. So I'm equally excited as you as to know about what do we have in store.
Absolutely. So this platform is a purpose-built platform, as I've indicated, for the process of moving a small business through the certification process. It is great for employees of a company. I know as a small business owner that these certifications are not necessarily the top of mind. It is something that you do not necessarily because you want to. You do because it helps you get contracts, and it is a way to distinguish between yourself and all of the other small businesses that are trying to get to your clients, to the same clients. It makes this platform makes it easy to retrieve to create and to retrieve and to securely store your certification documentation. For anyone who has gone through certification, it is a document heavy process. Lots of data you have to gather. Your employees, again, don't necessarily have this as their primary job. So there is lots of data that has to be securely gathered and made available to those who have a need to know. This platform offers multiple standards. We offer the ISO standards that are critical to government contractors and critical to government agencies, such as the ISO, the 9000 standard, the 27000-1, the 20000 standards. And it also makes available the newest standard that the Department of Defense has recently released, not in its final form, but soon to be final, the CMMC standard.
So Philip, sorry to interrupt you here, but had few casual queries here. In my experience, I have seen small business owners getting into that conflict all the time, that implementations take too much time, guidances are not readily available, standards keep on getting updated, and they get lost for the updated guidance, as well as their employees and consultants also keep on shuffling around. And when they move out, I see these guys really struggle with what exactly did we do 2 years back, 1 year back, and sometimes it kind of nosedives for them the whole implementation. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's something that we experienced ourselves. Again, you go through the certification process, you do all the work that's necessary, and then you put it on the shelf, so to speak. Even though things within your organization continue to change, that those changes in many cases, should be reflected in the documentation that you have saved for your certification, but you don't really have time to do that. So you just put it on the back burner. And the next time your certification comes up for renewal, or you go after another certification, you really have to go through this process all over again. So that this tool makes it easy for you to save all of your artifacts and incrementally update them as you need to. And even if you don't, like most small businesses, even if updating your certification data is not top of mind, we save this information for you out in a secured cloud environment. And we use Amazon USGovCert, which is a platform that is heavy in all the certifications that are required.
Have you moved the slides? Because I don't see it.
Oh, I just moved this. Sorry about that. I just advanced the slide to why USGovCert. And again, I talked about some of this a little while ago. Why would you want to use this platform? We developed it primarily for both self-certifications and those external certifications that the U.S. government agencies are requiring. Even though, for example, the Department of Defense is now mandating CMMC. The civilian agencies are not going to be far behind. In many cases, they are requiring, they're not mandating as the DoD is mandating, but what they're doing is giving a vendor extra points if they can prove that they have gone through the ISO certification or the CMMC certification or what have you. So this tool gives vendors the opportunity to granularly control access to their certification data, which is something that you don't necessarily get when we use a general purpose tool like Microsoft 365 or even Google Docs. Again, those are wonderful tools, but not necessarily purpose-built for helping an agency on the certification journey. Or the tool really is the approach that we have taken is a question answer approach. We provide those questions that you have to respond to and allow you or your team to provide your answers to them. And for each question that is asked, there is content level responses or inquiries that you can get assistance on. Most small businesses, again, do not go through the certification journey on their own. The vast majority, over 95%, would hire an external consultant to help them achieve certification. Again, this is not their business. This is something that they do because they absolutely have to do to get more government work. So that's a little bit about kind of an overview of the tool. And in future presentations, we're going to have a lot more in-depth information about how vendors can use this tool to help them on their certification journey.
What are some of the key features?
Oh, well, in terms of features, again, USGovCert is hosted in Amazon Gov Cloud, which is everyone is familiar with Amazon Cloud. Amazon has portioned off a section of their cloud environment specifically for government contractors and anyone who wants to have an extremely secured environment, and that's Amazon Cloud. There are many security features that are embedded in Amazon Cloud. In terms of some of the other key features, we make right now 7 standards available, the popular standards. For example, we have CMMC, which is the newest standard that DoD they have not finalized the standard, but the anticipation is by 2026, fiscal year 2026. All DoD contracts will have the requirement that vendors certify that they're CMMC compliant. But that's not only prime contractors, that is subcontractors also. In addition to that, we have the NIST 800 standard available. That is self-certifying standard 800-171. We have the CMMI standard, the security and quality standards, the ISO 27000-1 and 27000 and the 20,000 standards. What is critical? What's important? One of the great features of this tool is that a vendor can bring their external consultant onto the platform. And this makes it a lot easier for the consultant to help their vendor do the work necessary to become certified. Some of the other great features of this tool is the data when it is in transit to the database, and even when it's at rest, that data is encrypted. And we know security is important, so we built 2-factor authentication into this platform. Once you buy your subscription, you can perform any number of certification projects with the license. After you and your consultants have verified that your data is where you need to be, you can print this out and hand it to an appraiser. That can be a foundation for how they go through your certification. Even though this is a great tool, we know that we know that it is a new tool, and with everything else that you have going on, you might not know all the answers. So we have a great help desk, an experienced help desk willing to answer all of your questions. But for more immediate responses, we have a chat. We built a chat feature into the tool that you can communicate with experts on the back end at any time who would help you solve any issues that you have. In terms of license, there are several ways that you can buy from us. You could actually go to our website, USGovCert.com, and you can purchase your subscriptions at that point. We have I think it's a great feature, which is resellers are allowed. Resellers can purchase bulk licenses from us and turn around and resell those at whatever price they see they deem appropriate to their users. But nonetheless, regardless of whether or not you purchase it from or resell it, we are ultimately responsible. So if you have any questions or any issues, you can reach out to us, and we will help guide you through any problems you have. You could also write to us, either info@USGovCert.com, or you can write to me directly, Philip.Denny@USGovCert.com. That's PHILIP.DENNY@USGovCert.com. And finally, you can call us. That's 866-336-9797. And my direct extension is 102. So that's kind of a brief overview of this tool. And going forward, we are going to have much more in-depth discussion of this tool, what it can do to help make your work easier.
Yeah, I think you talked about a lot of features here, Philip, but how much it's going to pinch my pocket is the key.
Actually, it is comparatively inexpensive. We sell it on a per license basis, And it depends on the standard. For example, the ISO standards would be less expensive than the CMMC standard, but not there. But again, the price is equivalent to what you would pay Microsoft for a 386 license. About that, it's in that ballpark. And so you can buy a year subscription, a 2-year subscription, or 3-year subscription. So it isn't really going to put much of a dent in your pocket, no more so than if you have Google Office or Microsoft 365 or what have you. So it's very competitively priced. Very competitively priced. And we have we know this is the first real iteration of this tool. The tool is ready to go right now, but we understand that in order for us to stay relevant, we have to make sure that we continue to update this platform. One of the next things that we are about to release is a mobile application. The mobile app will allow you to get notified when someone updates a particular standard in your organization. And there are a few other ease of use features that we have built into our mobile app. One of the great features that is coming down the pipe is we are building an API. We built 7 standards ourselves into the platform, and we're adding more. But in terms of, for example, ISO, there must be hundreds and hundreds of ISO standards, all of which we don't have available. So we're going to build an API to allow consultants who want to make these additional standards available to their users. We'll allow them to build via our API those standards and make them available to their user community. So I think that's a fantastic feature that really extends the usability of this platform. So it isn't just the 7 or 8 or 9 or how many of them that we're going to develop, but this tool can be used by consultants to make the hundreds of standards available that their customers use. So in terms of how to get in touch with us, again, this is our contact information. Feel free to call or email with any questions you have. And we are anxious to hear from you, and we are anxious to help you go through your certification journey. Are there any questions that we have?
I had a question. What makes you different from all the other companies that may be providing similar services?
Sure. We have decided to build a tool that is purpose-built for certification. Most of the tools out there, not most of the tools, I haven't found another tool that was built specifically to help document the artifacts that are required for certification. Anyone who has gone through ISO certification or CNMI, you know that there are tons and tons of documents that you have to gather and make available to your consultants. And all those documents go into the final product. No tool that I'm familiar with does that work. No tool, only USGovCert. So in terms of, we know our sweet spot. We know what we are good at. We are not a cyber tool. We don't do any of that work. But those tools are important. But what there is not available is a purpose-built platform to help on the certification journey. That makes us unique. So, are there any other questions? Well, if there are no other questions, I thank you for your time. And we will again, this is just the first in a series of webinars explaining the purpose of our tool to you, the community who's going through the certification journey. Again, thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.